Welcome. We're back. Thank you for tuning in. This has to be like a dateline.
Flex AI?
Oh yeah.
Flex AI.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in to Flex's Legal Bit. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Okay.
Flex's Legal Bit, and we're doing it a little different here today because even though we like to give you information that can help you out on cases, we're going to kind of veer and venture into current events.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
That was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
My name is Flex Guajardo, and this is
My name is Raul Guajardo. I'm an attorney.
current event that has recently popped up and is gaining traction because of a lot of different information that's coming in. The accident that recently occurred over, I believe it was in Palmview, Mission area, involving a semi-trailer and a small passenger vehicle. They collided on the expressway. They ended up veering off. The semi-trailer ended up landing inside the home next to a business. And unfortunately, the gentleman lost his life. There was kind of a whole bunch of stuff circling whether it was his fault or who was at fault and stuff. And
Yeah, that was a tragic incident.
yeah. So the light passenger vehicle was the one that kind of veered in the road, caused a lot of damage for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we're kind of trying to see.
And caused the death of the driver.
Yeah. But we're going to take a look at, of course, the avenue from each direction. So from the gentleman driving the passenger vehicle, we'll take a look at maybe the driver or the family for the driver for the semi-trailer, and we'll take a look at the homeowner for the house because the house was damaged and had to be demolished in order for them to extract the tractor.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Well, I mean, it's completely damaged. I mean, I think they had to tear it down.
I think the big thing with all the information that we know now, at fault, who is generally at fault?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, it's a sad incident because somebody passed away, right?
Yeah.
And in a very tragic way. But I think there was a vehicle, right, that cut this 18-wheeler off.
Yeah.
And caused him to go off the road and
Yeah.
directly into a house. So he's the main culprit, right? But I think when we're talking about financial compensation, because people, I mean, aside from losing this gentleman's life, people lost, financially as well, right?
Yeah.
The vehicle's damaged, the house
Property.
is damaged, property's damaged. So who's the main culprit here? Well, probably the gentleman who cut him off, who probably was texting or something. But this, these vehicles, they're fully loaded. It's hard to control. They're very hard to control. So that, of course, played a big factor into it. But this vehicle that cut him off and caused him to veer off, he's probably the main culprit. So from the perspective of the homeowner, from the perspective of the family of the gentleman who passed away, this guy would be the main responsible party.
So then everything would get kind of directed towards, would it be like his insurance, is his personal?
Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes, I mean, the law requires us to have a minimum policy for vehicles, right? Which is like a 30-60. And if he had insurance, some people don't, but if he had insurance, the most that they can get is $30,000 for the injury or for a death, which is really not a lot.
Yeah. Even if it was multiple parties involved?
Yeah, well, the 60 part is the total amount, but that's for bodily injury or death, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, there was only one person who passed away, so it's only $30,000.
Now, we talk about this topic because it doesn't only cover just this situation. We've had other situations before to where we've had multiple parties involved in one accident, and it's kind of trying to figure out who the main party is and how to get the dividends amongst the other parties that were involved.
Exactly. And when we do have that, as a matter of fact, we have a few cases right now where we represent a couple of people, and maybe there's another lawyer who represents one other person or another one or two others. And the insurance will say, okay, here's the $60,000. You guys figure out how you're going to divide it, right?
Yeah.
So that could happen there. But from this perspective, it's only one person who got injured, so it's only $30,000. When it comes to property, vehicles also have, I think it's $25,000 to pay for any damages on property, which is really, in this particular case, is not a lot either, right? So from the standpoint of the gentleman who passed away, that's the situation there, or his family. And from the standpoint of the person who owns the house, well, they can go after, the company, the trailer company, but their defense is going to be, hey man, we didn't cause this, it was this guy who cut us off. But yeah, I mean, they have bigger insurance, so I think what happens there in a case like that, they may go ahead and file a lawsuit or something and claim that the driver was at fault. But that's always a defense for them. Sometimes they'll put it in a pleading. They'll bring in either the person who caused the incident, bring him in as a defendant, or they'll bring him in as a responsible third party, what they're called a responsible third party. And if you go to trial, the jury will decide, hey, who's more at fault?
Right.
And in this particular case, I mean, it seems pretty obvious that the guy who cut him off is the one who would be at fault. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough coverage for all that.
So I was able to see through an on-air broadcast that the gentleman that was responsible ended up turning himself in. He got charged with criminal negligent homicide, and then he'll be, I'm assuming he is in police custody, and either he bonds out or then has his trial. So if a responsible party is incarcerated, how does that work when you're doing legal proceedings?
It doesn't really change much. I mean, you can sue them wherever they're at, and the insurance would have to provide defense for them. Mm-hmm. It'll make it harder if you're going to go to trial. You have to subpoena them or ask for them to come in and all that. But it kind of in the same way, handles in the same way.
So for, say, the family of the truck driver or for the homeowner, what's the process that they need to take as far as, of course, legal? Mm-hmm. They need legal representation as soon as they can.
That's right. Yeah. Again, there's only a limited amount of policy that they can actually tap into. But from the perspective of the homeowner, I mean, probably will go after the trailer company as well, and maybe allege, some sort of negligence as well to try and get compensation, because the trailer will probably have bigger insurance, better policies, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And since it doesn't cover, or maybe the individual's insurance won't cover all the parties, then I would assume each individual's own insurance would have to come into play.
Exactly. I mean, if a homeowner has insurance, that would fill in. And a lot of times what these insurance companies are doing is they'll take care of the homeowner, for example, and then they'll sue the responsible party. And okay. Maybe someday they'll collect, maybe they won't. Yeah, they'll get a judgment and maybe they'll collect, maybe they don't. They used to not do that, now they're doing that a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have any questions or any situations like that, and maybe you find yourself or maybe a family member or a friend that is involved in a situation where there's multiple parties involved, you can give us a call at 956-318-3200. You've done a whole bunch of cases like that, right? Yeah,
I mean, we've been doing this for 22 years, so we've had a bunch of cases that, you don't like for me to tell stories, but we have a bunch of stories.
Back when I was a baby. Hey, but don't forget, we also have our social media outlets. You can find us on Facebook, also Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. You can also call us 24/7 and experience our brand new AI to where you can talk to him at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You have a little avatar there. And
with a beautiful accent, right? Thank you for calling. But like always, make sure to tune in, and then we'll give you another episode here coming next week. If you have any questions or concerns and you want to send us a message, don't forget you can shoot it over through social media. Give us a call, and then we'll get those answered for you.
And don't forget to follow us, subscribe, share.
Click that hit the button. Go like this.
Keep sharing.
Like subscribe right here, and then Leslie puts stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
Do it.
And then share.
Yeah, this right here. This, like that. Yeah.
And remember,
we're with you.